We're back, y'all. We're back in action. We've been out for a little holiday hiatus, but we're back with another episode. And today we are talking about Saturday night's main event, John Cena's last match. So stay tuned after the intro, and we're going to get into all the business. Welcome back to Collard Greens TV, your one stop shop for all things nerdy. I am your host, King, and the greatest co host on the earth, JC3. And y'all, we are back with another one. We're talking WWE today, and one of the biggest things have happened. John Cena has retired, and we're going to talk about the Saturday night's main event. So, quick housekeeping, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. We'd love to hear your opinions about the things we talk about, and we see the engagement. We appreciate every one of you. So, without further ado, let's get into the first match. The PLE kicked it on off with Cody Rhodes and Obafemi. Jay, kick us off.
Man, all right. Well, Cody and Obafemi, the present, current WWE champion versus the future, Obafemi, who's the NXT champion currently. This match, I think, was pretty good. The crowd reacted great to both guys. Everybody loves the American Nightmare, and this was the first time for a lot of people to have seen Obafemi on a big stage like this in Washington, D.C., and the crowd really popped for him. I'm really glad that he got that moment and got that spot. I would say that Obafemi was very dominant throughout the whole match. He did a great job. One spot in particular that I remember is the running uppercut that he gave to Cody over the announce table. That looked pretty good. And it was so good that I think it even busted the American Nightmare's eardrum open. So that was a nice little visual and spot. Overall, again, I think the match was good. The only sour part for me was the conclusion. We really didn't have a winner in this. Drew McIntyre interfered, causing it to be a no contest, and we had Oba actually have another moment with Drew McIntyre that I didn't see coming. Him shoving McIntyre down the way that he did, and McIntyre just having that look on his face, like, "Oh man, who am I effing with?" I like that spot for Oba. It makes him look like an incredible force, and I'm really excited to see what he does in the future. Overall, good match. Just didn't really care for the ending. What you think?
It was a big match for me. I'm a huge Cody Rhodes fan if you've been watching the program here. But one of the people I really love that we don't get to talk about much is the ruler, is Obafemi. I love that dude. And for, I guess, me and Jay here, being black and having that representation, that big, strong man, the dude who actually looks like a wrestler, has that presence, that walk right there. I was happy to see him on the main stage. He deserves that. For a guy who's only been doing this for a couple years, he's amazing. The spot where he launched Cody Rhodes into that table, boy, I screamed for a second. I was like, okay, now we're talking. They had a pretty good match. I will 100% agree with you that the finishing and the end was kind of lackluster, right? We would have liked to see a conclusion to this, whether it be Obafemi almost winning, or we know Cody Rhodes is going to win because they're not going to take the belt off of him, but a little bit something different of an ending. Drew McIntyre and his whiny self came in and did what he always did, was break up somebody else's championship just because he hasn't got to be the champion in a very long time, which he's been the champion before. So quit whining. The only thing that I think that came out of it that was really cool is it looked like a setup for a Obafemi and Drew McIntyre feud in the future, which I think we could eat all day off of. I love the
Oh yeah.
idea of WWE lining up these big men. They don't really get to do much on the roster, and setting them up so Obafemi can knock them down and really getting the big guys a chance to have a little more ring time. I think with some of those
Yeah.
matches, we could eat all day. So kind of a lackluster ending, but what could come of that? Super stoked. Super stoked. All right, let's move on to the next one. The next match was Bailey versus Soruka. Kick us off.
Man, okay, so I'll say other than the Cena match, which we'll talk about later, I think this was probably my favorite match of the night. Sol Ruka is such an amazing talent. She's one of the best women in NXT by far. Bailey being a legend in her own right, one of the four horsewomen, multiple time champion. Lots of respect for Bailey, and shout outs to her for being willing at this stage in her career to really try her best to put over a lot of the young talent. We see that with Sol Ruka. We've seen that with Lyra Valkyria. So I shout out to Bailey. The match itself, I gotta say, man, Sol Ruka showed out. She showed how agile she is, how athletic she is. The match itself was uh, had a way more quicker pace than Oba and Cody, I would say. And Sol Ruka, she pulled every trick out the bag, man. I think I saw like a handstand, like into a head scissor takedown. There was a cartwheel on the top rope turned into a DT. Moves that we really haven't seen that much of before. She was putting off. She was really doing her thing. We ended the match with what my old man considers to be the best finisher in all of wrestling right now, the Soul Snatcher on Bailey, and we got that for the 1, 2, 3. And what I really loved about this was you could tell that Bailey wasn't upset about the loss because she understands, like we all should, what this whole show is about. It's about showing the present talent we have, but also showing what we have to come. And what we got to come is not only Obafemi, but an amazing and fine Soruka. I really enjoyed the match. But what did you think?
So I did not have much knowledge of Soruka, right? I don't watch as much NXT as I do, the two big brands. So I'm not very familiar with her. And leading up to it, I was kind of just getting some information off the internet as the posts come around. And what I found out was super interesting. She was an athlete before this, and like a gymnast athlete, kind of like your Tiffany Stratton. So when she started to perform those moves and doing backhand springs over the ropes, these really gymnastic uh, big jumps and moves, I loved it. It really shows that she has mad skills and mad talent. And I think WWE is doing a good job of starting to pick people out of other sectors that work with theirs, right? Gymnasts and athletes and other people really take well to the WWE industry and wrestling as a whole. And Saruka's the proof. She's one of the people that really proved herself. Bailey is Bailey. We all love Bailey. Well, she's amazing. She's great in ring worker and probably a better human being and present. You know what I mean? Than anything else. She always puts over young talent. She's willing to teach, train, and learn from young talent and help them grow. And no surprise that she was happy to put over Soruka. But a big moment for her coming from NXT. Everyone watching this, take it from me and Jay. Some of the people in NXT and some of the people we're talking about on this card will be the future of WWE and the biggest stars. So if you're watching it now, you're going to get to see them rise to a whole new level. So good match. It was a fantastic match. Let's move on to our next tag match. And you're going to have to help me out with this one. It was Ray Phoenix and AJ Styles, the two champions, against Javon Evans. And what's the other dude's name?
Leon Slater.
Le-
And
Leon Slater.
yes, and also AJ Styles' partner, Dragon Lee.
Yes, Dragon Lee. Sorry, so there we go. Dragon Lee. I think I said the other guy. My bad. Dragon
You
Lee,
good?
AJ Styles, Javon Evans, and Leon Slater. All right. Well, you kick us off since I'm having an old man brain today.
You're good, man. I mean, I guess we can all say that Dragon Lee and Ray Phoenix. I mean, they both wear masks. Hey,
They they
like
they
got
look a little alike.
yeah, yeah. We accept everybody on this podcast, ladies and gentlemen. But the match between AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, and Leon Slater and Javon Evans, aka the Bouncy Boys, I like to call them that too. Really good, solid match. again, just showing how the young talents going against the veterans, and the veterans, I think, were more than happy to let the young talent go, let them show what they got. Javon Evans and Leon Slater were amazing in this match. They started like hot right out the gate. They tried to give super kicks to our tag team champions and end the night quickly with a frog splash right off the bat. But you know, AJ Styles wasn't having that. Overall, again, fast paced match, really big spots, really cool moments. One moment that sticks out to me is Dragon Lee. I believe he sent Leon Slater into AJ Styles' arms for like a Styles clash on ringside. That was pretty good. He didn't pull it off because Javon Evans broke that up. But speaking of Javon Evans, again, that boy is bouncy, jumping all over the place, jumping over top ropes, getting such height on his frog splashes. Javon Evans is definitely a future NXT champion, if not a future world champion when he gets called up to main roster. Both him and Leon Slater are going to do great. I would say the only sore spot in the match, and I hate that I to say this, but my boy AJ Styles, he had a little slip on that rope when he tried to hit the phenomenal forearm, which I think kind of sped up the ending of the match a little bit. Maybe they're like, okay, we're kind of getting too fast. Maybe we need to wrap this up real quick. But that was the only bad spot I can call out. The champions ended up retaining in the only championship match that we had on the card. And I think the match did exactly what it needed to do. It got the young talent over without having them win and showcasing how good the veterans still are. So I really enjoyed it. What do you think, though?
I really think that it seems to kind of be the theme of the night, right? Is the older talent putting over the younger talent and showcasing, win or lose, that these younger talents have it and they will be the future. The one thing that came out of it for me was I love Dragon Lee and the Ray Phoenixes and all the guys, who just came in. Love these dudes, but the energy that Dragon Lee and AJ Styles add together, a mix that I really didn't think would work when it first happened, it's amazing. They're a great tag team. They have great in-ring chemistry and out-of-ring chemistry, and I think it's fun to give AJ Styles something before he starts to do the whole Fellware tour, or goodbye tour, since I can't speak today. I think that that's really cool. They are both phenomenal wrestlers. Obviously, AJ Styles is the phenomenal one. So a little on the nose there, but I thought it was a fantastic match. What was more impressive and the thing that stood out to me was the two newcomers, the two young men coming from NXT and TNA. Them boys is crazy. Now, Javon Evans, I've seen his in ring work a little bit more. I've seen some of his stuff. Leon, I have not. This was my first time seeing him. He really did well. Painting it like, AJ Styles is his favorite. They're finally getting to wrestle together. Part of me could see that in their actions as they were wrestling. They look like, oh man, we're at the big show. We're having the time of our lives. We're really doing it. So it was fun. It was fun. And I'm with you. My only criticism, if I had to say one, was AJ. He missed that one, and I felt bad. I actually felt bad for him because it kind of fell directly on his face. But Leon actually helped him out, and I thought that was a really cool moment. They helped him finish the spot, and afterwards they gave each other the big hug, and they all did the salute. Everybody was doing that for John Cena. I thought it was fun. And when it comes to probably the pace of the night, it was probably the funnest match for me. It was just a lot of high flying, a lot of action. It got right out the gate, and it was like no fluff, no nothing. It just kind of got in and out. So fantastic match for me. Fantastic match. But we're gonna skip on this one. Some little stuff that happened with the Miz, but he was out there being annoying, and our truth came out and kind of got in the way. And then somebody said his name, and we all know who shows up. Joe Hendry. We won't spend a lot of time, but I will say that it was really cool to see our truth and Joe Hendry kind of together. And I hope that in the future, Joe Hendry does some stuff with our truth. Hilarious. Hilarious. But let's move on to the biggest thing, and the reason why everybody was there and the reason why we are here today. Big match, John. against Gunther. Kick us off, Jay.
Man, the 1917 against the Ring General. Man, I'll tell you, this match was bittersweet but beautiful in a lot of ways. I've seen Cena ever since he started in '02, and now we're all the way here in 2025. Throughout that time watching him, of course, the main thing that you hear anytime this man came out was "Let's go, Cena." Cena sucks. Mostly Cena sucks. But Saturday night was not that whatsoever, and that is one of the beautiful parts about watching wrestling and being a wrestling fan for this long, is because the crowd was singing like they were hand in hand singing my man's tune down to the ring before he came out. You could tell that he was trying to hold back his emotions. He even took the camera from camera guy Stu so he could record him real quick and also record the crowd before he made his final run down to the ring. Beautiful moment. Beautiful moment for John Cena. Of course, everybody couldn't stand Gunther. He was getting booed out the building, as you know, as he should, with him being the heel and whatnot. But this match was more than just Cena's last match. This was also about establishing how much of a force Gunther is. We already know how great Gunther is. One of the longest reigning, if not the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion, multiple World Championship runs. He's definitely the guy to go up against Cena for his final match. And man, they pulled out an excellent match, in my opinion. Not only because Cena got in all his big spots, including a double A through an announce table and a super double A from the middle of rope on the Gunther. It also just established how great Gunther is. It showed how Cena was willing to sell for Gunther. You know, all the chops that he was taking, all the clotheslines that he was taking, slow and methodical, showing how much of a force and how great Gunther is. Part of the match that really hit me is when Cena put his hands up one last time, you know, for the five knuckle shuffle, asking everybody to, you know, come along with him, you know, because, you know, he needed that energy for the one last time. We got multiple finishers in this match, but it ended with Gunther putting the sleeper hold on Cena. I can't tell you how many times we were playing with Cena passing out and not passing out. That thing dragged on for the longest time, I'll say. But it was a cathartic moment to see Cena give up to Gunther with a slight smile on his face when he did. And I think that was just him knowing like he's done and it's time to let go and let the young talent go on from here. Beautiful match, man. I'm very proud of Gunther. I'm very proud of Cena, and I'm happy that he went out on his terms. But yeah, man, that's wow. Never seen 17 is done. That's what I got for it, man. What did you think?
You know, I don't have the long historic history with John Cena that you do. I had got out of watching wrestling about the time that he got in, and I'm coming back to wrestling around the time he's leaving. But I did get to see later John Cena's in-ring work, the way he treated everyone, the love that he gave everyone, the impact that he made on not only the wrestling community, the wrestlers, the WWE universe, and the world. He is the probably the greatest of all time for a certain reason. Nobody has done it longer than Cena at the level that he's done it. So got to give the man his respect. Again, I kind of want to echo some of the things you said. Was, you know, what a beautiful moment to see his music hit. They took a little pause and waited a little bit, let his music hit. He came out, he had the excitement, and he looked around the walls where they had all the pictures of throughout the decades of him. He came out and he went right to the cameraman who he knows very well. And just like you explained it, that moment was a beautiful moment. Running up, the excitement, the look around, you kind of can tell that he was soaking it all in for what he knew would be the last time, right? He kind of took a little bit longer to look at everyone. There was a little stillness in Lillian Garcia when she was about to announce. Everyone kind of knew, all right, it's time for the last time. As far as the match goes, it was a fun match. One thing that I loved about the match for me was we were always knowing that, Gunther was going to be dominant and he will be the dominant force for a long time. That man is a big hill to climb if you want to be the champion. He is the more modern and more effective in some ways, Brock Lesnar. But to see Cena kind of have fun and do a bunch of moves again, doing other people's moves, doing other finishers, trying to do what he can to get away from this humongous Austrian man was funny. It was funny and it was fun. Cena could take a chop like nobody else. Those Gunther chops are no bit. They're no joke. That's what I'm trying to say. And
No joke.
no joke at all, man. It was just kind of great to see them mix it up. Like you had mentioned to me, this is the first time we've seen them battle. And Cena's never climbed that hill or never got to really prepare for that. And here he is with the ring general. And boy, he's getting slapped, slammed, pushed around. He's getting dominated, but he's getting in the moves. The AAs through the table, the super AA. When he did that, there's on the internet right now, there's a freeze frame of Gunther smiling. And it kind of just told me that Gunther knew I'm in the ring with the best, sending him off. I'm having the time of my life. It was like a child. You know what I mean? He was climbing up on his shoulders just to get slammed down. Fun, man. Really fun. A lot of respect was given to John Cena. It was a beautiful ending, a beautiful match. He got the honors that I think he deserves. The only thing for me, just like the internet, we know there's a lot going on the internet right now about how the finish happened. I'm also of the mind that I thought the finisher could have been a little more pronounced, but I also agree that it was kind of more of a it's time to let go moment. And let go and let God, you know what I mean? And that kind of feels like what he did was take a moment, smile, a good road, a good fight fought, and let go. Now it's time to give the new era, their space. So I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was really good. To be someone who came into it late, it still had all the emotion that you're kind of talking about, and it still had that same weight for me. So good on them. What we're going to do now is I'm going to give my final thoughts and then I'm going to let Jay give his final thoughts and close us on out today. Overall, I think it was an amazing PLE. I think it was one of the better Saturday night main events. Sometimes that one is a little lackluster in comparison to the normal PLEs, but I think this one was really good. And I think this one had a message, and it was, older wrestlers putting over the young people or showing the young talent. So for that, I definitely give it a 9. In the spirit. Execution maybe a 7, 8, but in the spirit of it, I think it was a really good show, a really fun show, and something that everyone is talking about. Hit us with your final thoughts and take us on home, my brother.
Well, I'll say that I believe this Saturday night's main event was the best that we've gotten so far in Saturday night main events, especially considering the last one that we did, we only got one view on the video, and the one before that, Gunther retired Goldberg, and all Goldberg wanted to do was complain. So I'm gonna say that this was the best one so far. Show was great from top to bottom. Again, Cody Rhodes, Oba, great match. Just could have been a better finish. Second highlight of the night was Sol Ruka beating Bailey clean. Really nice. Great tag team match. And we ended again with Cena's final match, man. And if anything, this showed how fans can be reverted back to children if they don't like something. Because as adults, we all know that it was the right thing for Gunther to go over, even with Cena tapping. It's best for his character because that's only going to launch him into the stratosphere. Like it would be nothing for him to say, "I want a title shot now." But since Cena lost, the kid in us and apparently everybody else in Washington D.C. just wanted to boo Triple H out of the building. But that's how we're supposed to feel. We're not supposed to like what happened, but once we think about it and we talk about it like we are on this pod, we accept what is and we accept what we have, which was a tremendous farewell match for John Cena. I usually have a little funny closing statement, but all I got to say is I appreciate John Cena. My man left his armbands and shoes in the ring, gave one final salute. So I'll do the same. And I'll say, thank you, Cena. Like, share, subscribe. And as always, stay nerdy, my friends.